Welcome, and thank you for joining us for a series of training presentations from FrontRunner Professional. I'm Mark Miatello from the Customer Support Department with FrontRunner Professional. I would like to mention that if you have any questions on what you're about to see in this session, you can always contact us at support@frontrunnerpro.com. We'll be happy to help you out with any of your questions on any part of the IMS, of course. Now, detailed information on everything that we're about to show you is available in the online manuals. Step-by-step processes, many with diagrams to do anything in the IMS, are available in the online manual. If you haven't had a chance to look at that manual yet, put some time aside and see what's available to you. It's a great tool, and it's there at any time. And to access the manual, just select the main tab, then help desk, and then finally user manual. You should know where to find that if you're on here watching this video right now. Now, this session is on entering a web-only record. So as you enter your IMS, very simplified version of the standard record. I shouldn't say very, but it is a simplified version of the standard record, capturing only the information necessary for a website. So to start entering a web-only record, obviously we go up to Add a New Record, and we select the Web-Only Record option. Now, I should point out that web-only records publish to the web automatically. Standard records you have to publish by going to one of these selections here, or actually in the Edit Record Settings, where you can set it to publish to the web. Yes, this is automatic in a web-only record. Standard record, you have to set that. So if you don't want this published to the web right away, then you would just click on the little earth there, and it's going to publish it for now. So the first thing you have to do, there's only 3 items that you actually need to get a book of memories online. That is a first name, a last name, and you need a date of death, which we will enter right here. Now, entering the date of death, you probably want to use a calendar. That pops up today's date. Generally, that's where you're going to be. Date of death for this was yesterday. So that's done. We actually now could publish this to the web, and we would have a book of memories up. But we're going to put a little bit more information in this before we go any further. And that's the thing, is you can add all the information you want before publishing to the web in case you're a little short on information and you don't want just a name up there. Date of birth, when you're entering that in the record, you probably want to use the drop down because you're going to have to go back a few years. And if you do it by the calendar, you got to do a lot of backwards scrolling. So this way it's probably easier just to scroll through, grab the year, grab the month, and then your day. Probably quicker that way. You'll also see up here in the right hand corner the autosave. Every 15 minutes the system will automatically save what you've been working on. Also, if you do switch from section to section within a record, as soon as you click to the next section, the system will save whatever you are working on at that point in time. Now, other items in here in the basic information section, we have the family login, which is not at this point enabled, but if you want to give the family a login to the Book of Memories, you just click on that, and you'll see we'll ask for a family username and a family password. So I'm going to make it extremely simple here with the last name and then the first name. Now the family can log into the Book of Memories. They'll be able to approve photos and approve stories if you have the global settings set to on for approval for those items. Also, they can view private condolences and send e-thank you cards, which if you haven't seen yet, you should go in and have a look at. The e-thank you cards in the Book of Memories just great. Families just love it. And these days there's usually someone technical in a family that they jump at the chance to be able to monitor and look after the Book of Memories. The video link that you see here, this option, you can't actually upload a video to our servers, but what you can do, if the family has a Facebook page or something on YouTube that does have a video there, you can actually include the link to that page, and that way that'll be available in the Book of Memories that people can go look at it. It's going to take them to another site, but that option is available. Here we have the condolence email list. You'll see this field is quite large. You can put in as many email addresses as you like in here. The thing that's going to happen with this, I can't talk and type at the same time, so you'll just have to be patient with me. What this is, should people leave a condolence or post a story or light a candle, make a donation, whoever has an email address in here is going to get a notification that there's been a change to the Book of Memories. It can also include the condolence message that was sent, that sort of thing. And as I said, most family members that have an email address, they'll want to be in here, so they'll get immediate notification if something's happened to the Book of Memories, or I shouldn't say happened, but changed in the Book of Memories. And you can put in as many email addresses as you like, just separate each one with a comma. That's all that's required for that. So that's pretty much the basic information on the site. Now you do have to put in, obviously, a place of death, and you do have some in your database. Generally, you're going to run into hospitals, retirement homes, that sort of thing. But if a person has died at the residence, you will have to add a location, and that's where you click on the Add button here. And you do have to fill in all the details. You can't just put in residence and leave it at that, and I'm going to explain that in just a moment. Let's get this filled in a bit for you. System automatically jumping to the locations in the database. Now you'll notice that we've had to put in, obviously, a name of the location, the street address. You require the street address or the GPS coordinates. This is a situation where on the Book of Memories people can map locations. Without this information, the mapping software doesn't work, and our visitors, I should say, get a little frustrated with your system. We don't want that, so make sure you put in the pertinent information required for the mapping software to work there. Now as we scroll down through this, phone number, not really necessary. Additional directions, generally that comes into play with a cemetery or a service location, something to that effect. You also have to mark what type of location it is. And this one we're entering, it is a place of death, so we're going to check that. Also, you're going to run into quite a few residence locations in your database, but you have to specify each one, because if you just put in residence, it's going to pull up one specific address for whoever you enter in here. So you have to make this one current, or rather for the current record only. So make sure you check that, and that it is his place of death. Other locations you'll be adding, like visitation, service, interment, reception. You will have to check what type of location it is, and I'll tell you why. We'll save this one actually right now. You saw when we clicked the drop down for locations, place of death. This drop down now will only bring up locations that are marked as place of death in the database. Otherwise, you're going to run into a situation where if you click for a location and they all came up, you might be scrolling through 100, 150 locations or more. This way it narrows it down to locations that were listed as a place of death. Now down to the clergy, same situation with the clergy. We're just going to grab one that's in here. Now if you do have to add one again, you're going to click on the Add button right here if they're not in your database yet. And as you're building a database, you're going to do this more often than not. Once your database is built up, though, you're probably just going to be clicking the drop down and going from there. But you can see you put in the information for the clergy member, name, email address if the clergy is going to be notified on the anniversary, and the pertinent information for them. You can also see here disable notifications so that the clergy doesn't get that notification every year. The donation section, sometimes families don't want a donation allowed on their Book of Memories, so you just click that, the donation option disappears. But the vast majority, they will like to see donations made in honor of the deceased, and this is where you click the family preferred charities, because due to how the deceased passed, or the family's always been a big supporter of, say, the American Cancer Society, you can select that. So if someone comes to the Book of Memories and they click on, oh, I want to make a donation, the first thing that's going to pop up is a list of charities, but right at the top of that list with a big red check mark beside it, it's going to show the American Cancer Society as the family preferred charity. And you can put in as many as 4 here as the family's preferred charities. They will always top the list, have a nice red check mark beside them to draw attention to them. The visitation, this can be set up to 4. And if you leave it as none, obviously no information is going to show online, but we're going to select there's 1, and that's where your extra information fields open up. You pick the location. We're just going to have it at the Montroy Funeral Home. Once again, if it's a new location, you will have to click Add and then put in all the pertinent information. And the first date of visitation. Easiest, once again, is to hit on the calendar. That's going to bring it up. So the visitation first one is happening on Saturday. And we'll select the start time of 10 a.m. and the end time at noon. And that's pretty much done. You can have private visitations. You can add more visitations up to, like I say, about 4. If there's going to be music, you can put in pertinent information here as to what the music is, just for your records if you need that for your staff. Now, the service location is next. Service is also going to be at the Montroy Funeral Home, but once again, whatever location is necessary. And we're going to have it on the date right after the visitation. Our service time is going to be at 12 noon, and that's done. Now, should it be a private visitation or service, I should mention, you can click on here, hide service date on web if necessary. Just click that. Service information will not show in the Book of Memories then, so it will signify that it is a private service. And interment is going to take place at the Cataraqui Cemetery. Once again, if you need to add a location, you put it right in here. Don't forget, you do have to specify after putting it would be an interment one if we were adding one for this. Very important that you signify what kind of location it is. The reception, we're going to skip over at this point, but if there is a reception, then you can just do that as required. And the notice, you can put in the life story of the deceased. Also for the obituary, you can either type the obituary in here, or you can copy and paste if you have it in a Word document. The family has supplied something to you. You can just copy and paste it right in here. Otherwise, you can just obviously enter it as you go. And only our older viewers will get that one. But I just thought I would add that in for a sec. So that's pretty much it. Our Book of Memories is now completed. We're going to save it, but you see the autosave was already ready to save it for us in the next 4 minutes. We're going to save our work as we go there. Now you notice that every section that we went through here is available to jump right to it by clicking on these options. This now just gives us the basic information, which was right at the top of the page. Clergy, if there's going to be a change that is scrolling through the page, you just click on it and you get to the information. Got to add a co-celebrant this time, so we needed to update that situation. And the service, they actually wanted to change the time, so we'll change the time to 12:45. As quick as that, you can move through here. These changes will take immediate effect on the Book of Memories. There's no I have to republish, anything like that. It just goes immediately to it. One thing you got to do too is look at the Book of Memories. I'm not going to be going through all the candles and everything else and other options in here, but you do want to set the theme. Most will default to 1 or 2 themes that they use, one for male, one for female. This one is actually set as the default theme for male records, and that's our forest theme, but we do have a vast selection of themes that might be more suitable, and you can let the family choose as you click through them. It's one of our newer ones, the fisherman theme. You can save that. Once you have your theme selected, if the family is there and they'd like to see it, you can preview it for the web right here. And you'll see there's our Book of Memories, name, date of birth, or year of birth, year of death, enter the Book of Memories. All the information that we put in there, it's immediately there. Our general information, the first visitation, service information, our very short obit. And as you can see, we do have the family interactive login. That was the one that we added so the family could actually get in here. They can log in like this. I don't remember the password for right now. And here's where the family can view the private condolences, send the e-thank you cards. You have to have a look at those. Upload photos, submit a story, approve photos, approve stories. It gives that family interaction with the Book of Memories. They can't get any farther into your system, so you don't have to worry about that. But you can see they can get in here and take a little bit of work off you, actually, if you want to set all the photos for approval and such. Now we'll go back to the IMS. One thing I want to point out is the tribute section in the Book of Memories, that you can modify any of the messages that come in: shared stories, donations, condolences, memorial candles. We do have this section, modified tributes. Now we don't have any tributes in this one, so I did have one over here that we'll click on, and we do have it set already to modify tributes. You'll see that you can edit or delete that, and this is something that comes up all the time. People put in purchase a candle rather, and they've put in the wrong name, or they've left a name off. Same with condolences or stories. I've spelled something wrong, I'm really embarrassed about it, how can you help me? Generally I get the call saying, can you help this person out? You can do it yourself. All you have to do is go to the modified tributes, click on edit, change their story, or make whatever corrections are necessary, change the name, make it a private condolence. Because I said I didn't want this on the site for the world to see, it was just for the family. You can just switch that over to private. You save it, it's done. Changes take immediate effect on the Book of Memories. So you see, that's quite a convenient little item to have. The rest of these we will leave, except for managing photos. I wanted to point out one further thing with the Book of Memories. When you want to upload photos for the family, a couple of things to remember. You just go to upload a new photo. You go down here and select add. It should default to your picture folder. It doesn't always, but once you get it there, you should be okay. I know that's just a long list of things here, isn't it? And let's see, one of my favorite things. I think this file actually might be too big. Oh no, up it came. So when you do upload a photo and you want a thumbnail on your tribute page list, you'll have to set a photo as primary. So set that as primary. That's going to be the first one. When someone goes to the Book of Memories, I'll actually back up here and see if it pulls it up for us. We may actually get there. Oh, actually what I'm going to do it the quick way. So we're going to preview for the web, and that photo should be in our frame. There you go. That's your primary photo. And then when you enter, it's the first photo in the frame, and down here. Any other photos you add up like that, they're going to come in. As I mentioned earlier, should you have any questions at all about entering any information or working any part of the IMS, be sure to contact us at support@frontrunnerpro.com. You can also reach us by clicking on the Quick Launch button down here in the left-hand corner. Look for the IMS specialist. He's offline right now because he's recording this video, but he'll be back there at any time. Should say online most of the time. You just click on that, you'll go to an instant live chat with one of our support people. You can also go to the help desk, click that, and right here you can click on support request and just fill in your support request and submit it that way. So thanks again for taking the time to view this video. I hope it helps you with your utilization of the IMS. Don't forget, if you do need help, just contact us at support@frontrunnerpro.com. Have a great day.